Hey, what is up? So we got the times 10 shard event as expected, but what we did not know, and it came as a surprise, was we have a guaranteed champion event alongside the times 10 shard event. So we have a guaranteed champion event for CANDRAPHON, 150 ancient shards. So of course, like most players, I think we've all depleted our ancient shards because of the previous weekend. We had a times 2 ancient shard. So I have 18 left, of course, nowhere near 150. So this, of course, Plarium's way of making us buy more ancient shards. But of course, if you happen to have 150, definitely go for this guy. He is a great champion. CANDRAPHON, Force Affinity NUKER, and probably the best defensive or he's an attack type nuker, but best used in a defensive setup, especially for the arena. All right, so I'll showcase him in a little bit, but yeah, 150, definitely try to get him if you have. I don't know how you can have 150 by this point. Most likely you're a spender, but of course, as a free to play, I just have 18. But yeah, this guy, I do have him. He is great. I use him in Arena. He's mainly used for this A2, which is an AoE nuke. And of course, grants himself an extra turn if this attack kills an enemy. Most of the time, he will kill an enemy. And then after that, A2, just be careful. It's actually better to deactivate his A3 because I would much rather that he goes straight into his A1 after doing this A2. So of course the A2 will nuke and then he'll kill an enemy, will give himself an extra turn, and then go immediately into his A1 that places an extra hit if a target is under any buff. So of course in the arena you're going to go against a lot of buffs like increased defense, increased attack, block debuffs. If there is just a single buff on the target, this attack will hit twice, and this A1 hits really hard. And on top of that, it's best to pair him up with someone like a Duchess, someone that places Veil, because his damage will increase by 40% while attacking under a Veil. Or Perfect Veil also receives 40% less damage while under a Veil or Perfect Veil. This is why I said that in a defensive arena team, he is probably the best nuker out there because he will increase his damage and will receive less damage if he is under Veil. So, and if the enemy team, the enemy arena team is faster than you, which is usually the case if you're running a slower defensive team, he will, yeah, place a perfect veil on this champion for one turn each time an enemy's turn meter is filled, and this buff cannot be removed. This is usually the case when you're facing an arbiter or a Siphi that goes really fast and will boost the turn meter of everyone in the enemy team. Then this guy will immediately place a perfect veil on himself, and of course will receive 40% less damage, and will boost this champion's turn meter by 15% each time this champion receives damage under a veil or perfect veil, which will help him get to his turn a lot more quicker and get to his A2. So this guy, really, really good. So yeah. So in Arena, I prefer to turn off his A2 because it's really annoying because his AI after doing this A1 A2 will immediately go into his A3 when he could easily take out one of the enemy's champs using his A1. So it's quite annoying. I just deactivate this skill just to be safe. But yeah, let's go ahead and show you what he's all about in Arena. I have 4 Arena tokens right there. Yeah, let's try out this team probably. So yeah, so this is the team that I run CANDRAPHON in. So I have an Arbiter as my speed lead, and then I follow it up with a Warlord. Then Duchess comes right after, and then CANDRAPHON. But of course, usually you would not use CANDRAPHON in this kind of scenario. You would use him in your defensive team. In your offensive team, you would prefer someone like a Trunda. But unfortunately, I don't have a Trunda, so I'm using CANDRAPHON. So yeah, let's see how he does in this fight right here. So Arbiter goes first, Warlord does his thing, Duchess places Veil, and boom, nukes them down. And of course, he'll do that A2 and then do his A1 right after because I have deactivated his A3. And of course, we have this, what's his name here? This wolf guy. I forgot his name. Do we have his name here? See, I forgot his name. But yeah, whenever if he is the one that is killed by CANDRAPHON with the A2 and then he revives immediately right after, CANDRAPHON can target him immediately with the A1. All right. There you go, Brackus. I don't have him. I don't have Brackus, which is why I probably forgot his name. But yeah, that's how Candraphon works in the arena. He's really good. And just in case the enemy team goes faster, you know, he'll still have Veil, and that buff cannot be removed, so he'll be super tanky. And of course, when he does his A1, after he does his A2, make sure you target any reviver like a Syl, like an Arbiter, to make sure that, you know, they don't revive anyone. He is forced though, so he's going to have some trouble with some spirit affinity. So usually when you're facing against an enemy Duchess, that'll be a problem because Candraphon will take a while to beat the enemy Duchess. But of course, against Force Affinity, against Magic, against Void, he does quite well. So yeah, let's see what he does with this team. So yeah, I'm faster than the enemy Arbiter right there, so that's quite lucky. Boom, they're all dead. There you go. So yeah, that is how good he is. Let me just show you his stats. But of course, just remember that this is a free-to-play account, so this is not like any god tier stats. I just place him in Savage Gear. His chest is on is a five-star piece, so of course, ideally this would be a 6-star. He is also on speed boots, but ideally you would want to place him in attack percentage boots to maximize the attack. But of course, being free to play, I'm not going for Platinum Arena anytime soon. So speed boots is perfectly fine. And of course, attack for the ring, crit damage for the amulet, and attack again for the banner. You don't need any accuracy for this guy because he does not place any debuffs at all. So no accuracy. So here are his total stats. Quite low, I think, for an end game account. But of course, remember, this is free to play. You would normally see around 5,000, 6,000 attacks, sometimes even 7,000 attack. But 4,800, I think it's quite doable for farming gold 5. You don't really need 205 speeds, around 180, 170. I think that's perfectly fine. Just make sure you have him with 100% crit rate and as high as crit damage as you can. I've seen some people build him with high resist. That's not a requirement for him. It does help, I guess, in some scenarios. But of course, if you're trying to use him in the Platinum Arena, if you're building him with 200, 300 resist, that's not going to matter much because the champions that you'll be facing there has like 700 accuracy, 800 accuracy. So yeah, doesn't need any resistance, doesn't need any accuracy. Just focus on attack, crit rate, and crit damage. A little bit of HP doesn't hurt if you're building him for a defensive team, of course, for your arena. So yeah, so of course, I tried to put him in crit damage gloves, but of course I'm quite lucky to be able to reach 100% crit rate as a free-to-play account in crit damage gloves. That is usually the difficulty, getting those crit rate substat rolls in your Savage Gear. Yeah, I got lucky with the shield here. Triple roll for crit rate. All right, so yeah, Candraphon, really, really worth it in my opinion. A really good nuker, mainly for arena. He does have some use in PvE content, but I think he really shines in arena. All right, so that's it. I don't know if you have 150 ancient shards saved up, but just in case, you know, this guy Candraphon is really worth it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you guys in my next video.